Hello everyone and welcome back to some more Marvel Champions, and I had to try and take on the Green Goblin, Normon Osborn, again. We lost last time playing as Wolverine. I'm going to try Cyclops against him this time, see how a different mutant does against the constantly flipping Normon Osborn slash Green Goblin. He got us last time. I didn't catch anything wrong when I was doing the editing for that one. It hasn't gone live yet though, so I absolutely might have missed something. But I think the thing that got us last time was just an unfortunate encounter card. Forced him to flip. Didn't account for him getting flipped by his own cards, which makes sense in retrospect, because if you had full control over when he switches personas, then you can always make sure you're ready for that damage that comes out automatically when he switches to Green Goblin. That's the rough part. That's the part that's going to be hard to deal with. Cyclops, though, as we'll talk about in a second, he has a lot of allies in his deck, which I think will help us mitigate that indirect damage. And just in general, he works well as part of his X-Men team, so I think that might do better against Normon. So we're going to skip talking about how this version of Green Goblin works. I covered that last time. We will quickly go over Cyclops though, because I don't believe I've used him on camera before. So here is Cyclops. He'll obviously be starting on his other side. He is a 2-1-2 though. He doesn't have much attack, but he has things in his deck to help build that up. He's got Optical Blast on his hero side. You can spend one resource of any type to deal 3 damage to an enemy with an upgrade attached. And he has cards that attach to the enemy. But of course, he'll be on the Scott Summers side. He's only got a recovery of 3. He's got 10 health. 6 hand size on Alter Ego, 5 on Hero. You may include X-Men allies from any other aspect in your deck. This is his default deck and he has got a few allies from different aspects. Constant training. Actions. Search your deck for a tactic upgrade and add it to your hand once per round. So we'll basically be doing that to start the game once we've done our initial hand, mulligan, etc. And we'll be back to do that after this quick word from my channel sponsor. This video is sponsored by Noble Knight Games. Check out the video description below for an affiliate link that will take you through to their store, and it will help me out as well. Thanks. So let's start just by giving it a little bit more of a shuffle, just to make sure it's proven that the deck is indeed shuffled. We'll draw our initial 6, I'll do mulligans as needed, and then as we start the game I will just immediately use Scott's look for a tactic upgrade, just so we have that ready so you don't have to watch me searching through his many cards. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we have got Game Time. Choose an ally with a training upgrade attached to it, he can heal 1. Priority target attached to an enemy, so this is how you do damage with his Optical Blast. When attached enemy is defeated, the player who defeated him draws 2 cards. Again, that's the one thing I kind of wish I had the answer to, is when you do damage to Normon Osborn, which forces him to flip to the Goblin, and you remove the last token off of Criminal Enterprise, does that count as defeating an enemy? It probably does not, that's how I'm going to play it again. But if it does, then I'm definitely making it harder on myself. Rockslide, a very strong ally. Blindfold. Psychic Rapport, we're going to get rid of that because we don't have Gene in our hand. And Coordinated Attack. Each ally takes -1 consequential damage when attacking attached minion. So you attach that to a minion to attack them. Normon Osborn's probably not going to get a minion out immediately. I think we're going to get rid of Blindfold as well. So we're going to get rid of these 3. Draw 3 more, and that's our starting hand. Teamwork. Wolverine and Armor. Danger Room, which is a support location. And Ricochet Beam. Hero action, deal 3 damage to an enemy, deal 3 damage to an enemy with an upgrade attached. 2 separate instances. So that's our initial hand. We're going to start by using this ability, so I'll be back with that done as we start the game. So we are ready and properly started now. I looked out another teamwork. The tactics cards I wanted to use, I'm not going to have the resources for them. A lot of Scott's unique cards are classed as tactics cards, but until he's Goblin form I don't actually need them. So teamwork is there, mostly so I can keep 1 and spend some others. So we're going to use, let's see, we're not going to be able to Ricochet Beam this turn, so let's spend Ricochet Beam and one of the teamworks to get the Danger Room support area out, which is Alter Ego Response. After an X-Men ally enters play, exhaust Danger Room, search your deck and discard pile for a training upgrade and attach it to that ally. And any, well, the latter part is for if you're playing with any other characters, so that's fine. And I think I'm going to keep my hand as is because I want to get Rockslide out, but I don't have quite enough, and we have no means by which to generate, because what was it on his other side? Yeah, it was spending a resource to blast. So I think we're just going to hold on to everything so I can do a lot with Rockslide next time. and we're going to stay on Scott Summers' side as well. So we're going to draw 2 extra cards. It's not a bombastic first turn, but we're setting up for a good turn too. So we have Exploit Weakness. You attach it to an enemy for 1. It goes away at the end of the round and increases the amount of damage they take by 1. And Field Commander, which is a title. It's an upgrade. You take the first turn during the player phase. When your turn is done, play proceeds in the normal order. You do not take another turn. Each Cyclops upgrade attached to a minion loses the temporary keyword. Wow, that is really good. Oh, but it's only on a minion, not the villain. Fair enough. So, Criminal Enterprise started with 2. Hostile Takeover, forgot to flip that over. It started with 2, but now it's up to 3 because start of the villain phase. Norman is scheming for 2 plus a star. Place 1 infamy counter on Criminal Enterprise. So, there's immediately up to 5, which is dangerous. And Criminal Enterprise, where damage on him is taken, goes there. And an encounter card. When revealed, discard an upgrade or support you control. Because unfortunately Danger Room is a support. We're still going to be able to get Rock Slide out, but that's very annoying. Well, okay. Well, as a result of losing Danger Room, we're still going to take another kind of turn to try and build ourselves up. I'm spending 4 to get Rock Slide out. He has a massive 6 health, but if he attacks, which does 3, he takes 2 retaliatory damage. He has Retaliate 1 built in. He is a tough guy. I'm keeping Field Commander in my hand, but I can't play it. We are going to flip up to hero form, and we're going to thwart with Scott to get 2 off of Hostile Takeover. I could make Norman go to Goblin form by attacking with Rock Slide, but I have nothing to hurt him with. So we are going to hold off. Yeah. We're going to have to. Since we're in hero form, we need to draw 4, because I have 1. Practiced defense. Coordinated attack. Effective leadership. So if you spend this to play an ally, the ally gets +1 thwart and attack until the end of the phase. If only we'd drawn that in the previous turn. Tactical Brilliance, which is an event to remove threat, which might also be very apt. So we'll just go straight into Goblin turn, 1 threat on the main phase. He is attacking, but as Normon Osborn, when he would attack, you place 1 infamy counter on here instead, which isn't too bad, but we do still get our encounter card. Oh, and it is Oscorp Manufacturing. When revealed, place 1 additional threat here per player, so it's going to have 3. Like that, and it's got an acceleration token on it, so that's now something else to deal with. So our next turn is basically playing itself. We're going to get rid of Practice, Defense and Effective Leadership. We have no ally to get out with Effective Leadership, unfortunately. We are going to get out Tactical Brilliance. We remove 3 threat from a scheme. We're going to do that to immediately clear Oscorp Manufacturing. Get rid of that acceleration token. But we're also allowed to search our discard pile for a tactic card and add it to our hand. It is only discard pile, yes. Which tactic card would be good enough? I guess it's going to have to be... Let's do Teamwork, because I think we're actually going to use Teamwork this turn. Speaking of which, in our hand we have Coordinated Attack. That's going to pay for Field Commander, which just means if we attach any negatives to minions, they don't go away at the end of the round. Norman doesn't have any super strong minions, but hey, it might make a difference. All we have left in our hand is Teamwork. When you use your basic thwart power or basic attack power, exhaust an ally you control, add that ally's matching power to your hero's power for this use, aka it's a way to avoid their retaliatory damage. So Cyclops is going to thwart. He gets 1 extra from Rock Slide, and that completely clears Hostile Takeover. We are going to have to start attacking sooner or later, but that's okay. And we're drawing 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we can get his visor, that would certainly set us up pretty well. Exploit Weakness, Utopia, Dust, Tactical Brilliance, and Angel. Now again, we're getting the allies into our hand, not ideally with the cards we previously had, but oh well. So, 1 threat on main scheme, he would attack. This becomes 5. And then an encounter card. On a day's work, 2 infamy counters on Criminal Enterprise. Okay. Again, I'm just using threat counters, even though it's not technically threat. So, as a new turn begins, I'm going to move Field Commander down here. We'll just mention it again if it's relevant, because I'm going to spend Dust and Utopia to bring out Angel. Angel normally costs 3, but if you have the Mutant or X-Men keyword, he costs 2. He's not a super great guy. 3 health, 1 thwart, 2 attack, but hey, he's another ally out to take some of that consequential damage, and we are going to bring the Goblin out soon. We might even do it this turn, actually, because I could do it this turn. Let's see, do I want to? I could make him take 1 extra damage. We've got to get through 7, so that would be 4, 5, 6, 7, but then the only person left to hit him would be Cyclops for 1, which isn't great. I don't have any resources left to use, pardon me, his optical blast. I'm going to wait in the hopes that I get an encounter card that makes him maybe flip to his madness side, because I can still do this next turn, hopefully with more. So I'm going to keep these in my hand. We're going to draw 3. Ricochet Beam. Where's his visor? Game Time's pretty handy. Oops. And Genius. So we have resources, but we don't have his visor yet, and it's very handy to have it. So 1 threat on main scheme. He would attack. 1 goes on here instead. Encounter card. Gang up. I'm in hero form. The villain and each minion engaged attacks you. Instead of attacking, it's 1 on here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's pretty bad. Unfortunately, game time is not going to do us any good. The ally has to have an upgrade attached to them. We can spend game time though to do exploit weakness on Norman. For this round only, he is taking +1 damage each time he is received damage from some source. Is there anything else I want to do first? Let's see. Deal 3 damage to an enemy, deal 3 damage to an enemy with an upgrade attached. So yeah, that's a total of 6 actually. So sure, we'll use Genius to use Ricochet Beam, like that. So we deal 3 damage, if Norman would take damage. This goes away instead, so there's 3. Then you deal 3 damage to an enemy with an upgrade attached. Either his own or this, because it has the upgrade keyword, so that's 3 more. Which leaves this 3 in total. I could then spend a resource in my hand, which I will. I'll spend this as a resource to use his Optic Blast on his card. Deal 3 damage to an enemy with an upgrade attached. It's actually 4 damage, but the Goblin comes out, so that doesn't really matter. But then we can hit the Goblin pretty hard afterwards. So when he appears, he gets 2 madness, and he does 3 damage. You can distribute it however you like, but you can't give it more to an ally than they have. So say Angel had 1 health left, I couldn't say, oh, he'll take all 3. Indirect damage doesn't work like that. So, on that note, let's have Rock Slide take 1. Retaliate kicks in. Actually, I don't think Retaliate kicks in on indirect damage. Never mind. He'll take 1, and I'll take 2. So I go down to 8, and that is all 3 damage. I have not done my basic attack yet, have I? So I'll basic attack for 1 damage, but it's actually 2 because of the exploit weakness. Rock Slide will attack for 3, but it's actually 4, putting him down to 8. And then he takes a massive 3 consequential damage for that, so it's 4 of his 6 health gone. Angel will attack for 2 damage. He takes 1 consequential, but it's actually 3 damage. So that is Goblin Form 1 already down to 5. Which is pretty good, and that's going to be my turn. I could flip down while he's in Goblin form. What does he do when he would scheme as Goblin? He starts to not be as insane. No, I want him to stay Goblin, ideally. So end of the round, this upgrade on him, for me, goes away. I've readied all my cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Full Blast. Effective leadership, I bet I don't have any allies in hand. Danger Room Training, Tactical Brilliance, Energy, I do not. Excellent. So, Hostile Takeover goes to 3. He's attacking for 3 plus a card. I'm going to have Angel take the hit. Or should I take... Rock Slide hits for 3. Each of them have only got 1 attack in them, regardless. So yeah, I'll have Angel take the hit. So he's going away. That's 3 plus... That's 5 damage. Thank you for taking that, Angel. I do appreciate your sacrifice. Please don't come back as Archangel. And then encounter card. Also very good to get rid of Shadows of the Past. It's Private Security Specialist. Finally, a minion. So when he comes out, does it do anything? Guard, while this minion is engaged with you, you can't attack the villain, that's annoying. And that's it. So we've got ourselves a hired goon that is helping Goblin. Alright, let's spend that energy card, hello Gene, on Tactical Brilliance to remove 3 threat and take a tactic card from my discard pile. Clear out hostile takeover. Tactics card, it doesn't matter which one really, it's going to be spent on, like, as a resource. So let's just take game time again. Sure, why not? Added to my hand. It is to my hand, isn't it? Yes. Just double checking. Then, what do we want to do? We have no allies in hand. Can I make Rockslide survive? I can give him +1 attack and hit point. That would give him 7 hit points, so he would have 3 left. Oh, he would live, because he takes 2 incidental damage. Aha, okay. We'll use up that effective leadership to give him Danger Room training. So Danger Room training, X-Men ally, he is an X-Men. +1 thwart, +1 attack, and +1 hit point. So he's got 4 damage, 3 health left. That means he can attack safely and not die. Only problem is that Private Security Specialist can't die in 1 hit from him. I could go full blast. When you use optical blast ability, exhaust Cyclops. Ah, but you need an extra resource to use optical blast, so I would need to hold these in my hand for next turn. Arg. Okay, fair enough. I'm going to end my turn with these 2 in hand, so when my turn's not over, I'm just saying those are going to stay in my hand. So, Rockslide will attack for 3. He takes 2 more insequential damage that would normally kill him, but because of that upgrade, he is alive on 1 health. That means the Private Security Specialist has 1 health left. Cyclops will finish him off. Simple as that. Goblin stays out though, so Rockslide's going to have to take a hit for us here and go down, unfortunately. 2 cards in hand, so I'm drawing 3. Oh, there's a good ally. I bet I don't draw any cards that help getting allies out that are expensive. Teamwork. There's not going to be an ally left on the field to take. Oh, finally, at least we got his visor. So the way his visor works when it comes out is exhaust that to generate an energy resource for his optical blast ability, so it's essentially giving you access to that for free. That would have been so good that last turn, and it gains piercing and range, so no retaliate. And if he kills something, it just goes through. Oh no, sorry, it goes through tough, rather. Anyway, 1 threat on main scheme. He's attacking. Rockslide is taking the hit. Retaliate is going to kick in as a result of that, so he goes down to 4 health, because this is a full-on basic attack. He's hitting for 3 plus 4 and place 1 infamy counter or remove 1 madness. So he's almost back to being Norman. Rockslide, you did some good work there, buddy. So I'm sorry I didn't get the right cards to buff you up. Danger Room goes away because it was attached to him as well. Encounter card. He's got his pumpkin bombs. That needs 2 aggression resources to get rid of, or it'll just do 2 indirect damage next time he attacks. If he's on the Normon Osborn side, I wonder if that even procs. That's a little confusing. I guess we'll put that there as well now, because that's the only upgrade we have. So, we absolutely can get Goblin to 2nd form this turn, and just reading Pumpkin Bombs, it's when he attacks you, and the Normon Osborn side says, instead of attacking you. So, presumably the Pumpkin Bombs would stick around until such time as Goblin attacks you. So, we're going to get him to switch, which means we would take 4 indirect damage, we know that from last time, so I would have to end my turn by flipping down. That's just the way it's got to be. So, there's a couple of things we can do though. We are going to spend teamwork and game time to get our visor out. Just discuss what the visor can do. You tap that instead of needing a resource from your hand to use Optic Blast. Makes it have ranged and piercing, so it doesn't care about tough. And you can't be retaliated against, because that's what the ranged keyword does. We're then going to, unfortunately, spend Phoenix on full blast. So when we use our Optical Blast ability, we have to exhaust Cyclops to do it, rather than normally it's just an attack, to do 8 damage with Overkill. It is a bit excessive, because Goblin has only 4 health left, but I've got to get him. So we're getting him for 8 damage. That takes him to phase 2, that we saw last time. 18 health in phase 2. I wish the damage carried over the rest of it with Overkill, but that's not how Overkill works. And he does us immediately 4 damage, putting us down to 4 health remaining. Presumably those stay, and I am flipping down to hide and heal and hope that he doesn't do too much, because he's going to calm down 1 turn, so that kind of buys us a turn. So that's how I'm ending my turn, and we're drawing 6 because we're on our hidey side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, 2 cards left in the deck. Game time. Danger Room, practiced defense. Danger Room, strength card, coordinated attack. These are all good cards if I had other cards in my hand, but such as it is, that's a pretty not great hand. Oh well. So, 1 threat on main scheme. When Green Goblin would scheme, You remove Madness from State of Madness instead, so he doesn't do anything, but he goes back down to being Normon Osborn. His base scheme is now 2. On that side, we didn't really need to cover that last time because we'd already lost. And he places 2 Infamy on Criminal Enterprise if he would attack. Oh, and of course we need an encounter card, right? Forgot about that. Encounter card. Oh no, Scott's lost his visor. Give it to the Scott Summer player. Search your hand, deck, discard pile, and play area for Ruby Quartz visor and place it face down under this card. Cyclops cannot attack. Alter Ego action exhausts Scott Summers to add it to your hand. So we'll just put that over there then. Unfortunate. Toad's just come along and snatched it. I love that the lost visor card. He's still very clearly wearing it, isn't he? Oh wait, no, sorry, that's his fingers. No, it has gone. So I did forget to ready myself at the end of that last turn, but obviously I'm immediately tapping myself to exhaust to get my visor back. However, it doesn't just go into play, it goes back into my hand, which means I need to play it again. So let's use, I don't know, game time and danger room training, because we need this visor out. So there it goes. Oh, does it get removed from the game? Yes, sorry, it doesn't come back. Good. And that means we can't heal this turn. We don't have any allies to buff up, which is a real shame, because we have a great hand for doing that. And I wonder if a -1 attack would apply to him. Probably not. I'm going to keep the practice, defense, and strength cards in my hand. We're going to dump the other 2. That does mean that we're going to have to get an encounter card, because I'm definitely milling my deck. So let me just shuffle this, which is honestly relatively good timing. We want to get more allies back in our hand, or back in our play area, I guess. So obviously we're drawing these 2, which were Beast and Priority Target. So we do have an ally in hand. We need to draw 2 more cards after I finish shuffling these though. I dropped a card. It's always annoying when that happens, because then I need to shuffle again because I saw what it was. Okay, that'll do. 2 more. Game time and danger room. So 1 threat on the main scheme. He is going to scheme for 2+ star. Place 1 infamy counter on Criminal Enterprise. So that's up to 3, and he's schemed this one up to 5. And then 2 encounter cards. Doing them in order received. It's a hired gun! He's got a gun! When revealed, choose to either give the villain 1 face down boost card or place 2 infamy counters on Criminal Enterprise. So I'll place 2 counters. Oh no, he's got 2 sets of pumpkin bombs. That's actually very scary, because that means that's guaranteed 4 indirect damage if I don't get rid of them. Ugh. I once again forgot to untap myself, but we're going to immediately tap anyway to heal to 7. So we'll just stay down there for now. I've not decided whether or not I'm flipping up. What I am doing though is we're attaching priority target to the hired gun. Because of Field Commander, it never goes away. It means when he's defeated, we draw 2 cards. I then... yeah, I'm going to give him -1 attack as well. Why not? And then everything in my... if I play everything in my hand, I can get Beast out. When he enters play, we can shuffle our deck or discard... or sorry, search our deck or discard pile for a resource and add it to our hand. So sure, I'm going to spend all of this and then immediately bring this back into my hand. I won't need to shuffle as a result of that since I'm taking it from discard. But when Beast comes out to play, I'll just move Field Commander down here. So, I've got a strength card in hand. Scott's got 7 health. We've got a lot of indirect damage coming in. And we've got a hired gun to deal with. Beast doesn't do enough damage to him either to take him out, which is annoying. Criminal Enterprise, like when he's Normon Osborn form, we're sort of safe to flip to hero form. But I'm tapped anyway, so... oh, actually, that's I can still use this if I'm tapped. It only needs to tap Scott if he's in... if we're using that card that makes it do 8 damage. So this is just 3 damage to an enemy with an upgrade. Yeah, we'll flip up. We'll use the Ruby Quartz Visor to use that. Kill the hired gun. It means we get to draw 2 cards. Which might make a difference, I don't know. Coordinated attack and Psychic Rapport. Never comes out when Gene's there, unfortunately. Well, at least we can give this to Beast. So, attached to a minion. Each ally... Oh wait, no, we have to take... Oh no, it goes on an ally. Sorry, it goes on a minion and affects allies. Never mind, we'll just hold on to that one then. We'll dump Psychic Rapport because we know Jean's somewhere in the deck. So I've got 2 cards in hand. That technically got tapped as well. Beast hasn't done anything yet though, so let's have him thwart. So 1 consequential damage, 2 goes away from this. And that is unfortunately my turn. So ready up, ready up, ready up. 3 cards. Blindfold, coordinated attack, and priority target again. Okay. Interesting, interesting. 1 threat on the main scheme. Normon Osborn would attack, so you place 2 on this. Oh, I thought I had a 3 handy, so no, hang on, I had a 1 and 2 more going on. There we go. And encounter card. Mad Genius, he's in Normon Osborn's side. Discard the top card of your deck for each infamy counter on Criminal Enterprise. That's annoying. So we're losing 7 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just looking at what they are. Okay, no allies at least, but still, that's quite rough. So we've got to do something about those pumpkin bombs. Let's use the strength card to say bye-bye pumpkin bomb number 1, and then let's get rid of blindfold. Do I want to get rid of blindfold? I'm going to have to. It's the only other... Oh, actually no. I'll get rid of 2 coordinated attacks to get rid of the other pumpkin bombs. To get rid of that indirect damage. We've still got to worry about 4 indirect damage every time the goblin comes out, which is kind of scary. But that's just something we're going to have to try and deal with. Let's see. We can't get blindfold out this turn. We'll hold on to her though, because she'll take some hits for us eventually. We'll use the Ruby Quartz Visor, because we might as well, to do 3 damage. We'll take 3 away from here. We'll then thwart for 2 with Scott. Put that down to 2. And let's see. Let's have Beast attack for 2. Which goes away here. Puts that down to 2. And we're on our way to getting the goblin back out, which is scary because of the amount of damage he does when he comes out. So that's my turn. I've got 2 cards left in hand, so we're drawing 3. Dust, teamwork, coordinated attack. That's the last one of those coordinated attacks. 1 threat on main scheme. 2 counters on here. Encounter card. When revealed, the villain heals X damage where X is equal to double the villain's stage number if no damage was healed. Nope, he hasn't. This card gains Surge because he hasn't been hurt in his phase 2 form yet. On a day's work, when revealed, place 2 infamy counters on Criminal Enterprise. He's buffing it back up. Alright, let's spend blindfold, coordinated attack and priority attack to get Dust out into the field. So 1 thwart, 1 attack. But if there was a bunch of minions out for 1 extra consequential damage, she can attack them all. She's mostly just going to be there for ablative health, unfortunately. And then I think we're going to use teamwork. Well, let's start with Ruby Visor, 3 damage, boom, that goes away. There's still 3 on Criminal Enterprise, and we know he's doing 4 damage when he comes out. Let's see. I could exhaust Beast with teamwork, which would make Scott's attack 3. That would bring the goblin out. But then I don't have anyone to attack with, really. That's tricky. That is tricky. I'm debating what the best play is here. I think with Cyclops we'll take away 2 threat there, so it leaves that on 1. I'm not going to do anything with Beast and Dust. I need them there for the next turn, because next turn I want to get Norman to change forms. We're going to save teamwork in case I need to use that, so I'm drawing 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exploit weakness, that's a good one. Ricochet Beam, Practice Defense, and Utopia. So, 1 threat on the main scheme. 2 more counters on this would take it to 5 in total, so I'll just do that. And encounter card. Oops, this is getting a bit messy over here. Encounter card. It's his Goblin Glider. That's only going to be relevant once he switches form, but it is +1 attack. Requires 2 energy to get rid of it. Okay. We're going to have to try and do some damage this turn, so let's get rid of Practiced Defense to pay for Exploit Weakness. Attach that to Norman, which means he's taking 1 extra damage from all sources this turn. Now, what is the best way to get him to Goblin form? What is the most efficient way? That's what we need to think about. I could tap Ricochet Beam to do 3, but it would actually do 4. I could then attack with Dust. She would take 1 consequential, then we'd have to take most of the excess damage on her, I think. Then I could do Ricochet Beam. Yeah, I think that's the best bet. So we'll tap Ruby Quartz Visor. We do 3 damage. That leaves it on... would be 2, but it leaves it on 1 because he's taking +1 damage. Dust will take 1 damage to do 1 damage to Normon. And that brings the Goblin out. And this is where it gets scary. State of Madness starts with 2. And he does 4 indirect damage. So how are we dishing out this 4 damage? Dust can take 2 of it and it would kill her. So yeah, we're doing that. So she's taking 2. That means there's 2 damage left to deal with. And I'm taking that. So we're down to 5. With the rest of our turn, Beast hasn't done anything yet, but I want him to take a hit for me when this turn ends. So let's see how much damage we can do. We haven't tapped ourselves yet, and I can do a Ricochet Beam. So let's tap ourselves to do... actually no, let's see how much damage we can do to him first. We'll spend Teamwork and Utopia to pay for Ricochet Beam. We do 3 damage, then we do 3 damage to an enemy with an upgrade attached. We're attacking Green Goblin both times, so that is a total of normally 6 damage, but it's actually 8 because he's taken +1 damage from each of those instances. So that puts him down to 10. We'll have Scott hit him for 1, but it's actually 2 because he's taking 1 extra damage. So that's him down to 8. And then I think that's my turn. Do I flip down? I'm worried that we get an encounter card that makes Goblin attack me. If I am going to flip down, it means we don't need to worry about the glider. He'll take 1 off of this. He'll take 1 off of that, although he could go back to Normon form with the encounter card. If Beast hits him right now, he's taking 3 instead of 2. Yeah, I'm going to flip down, but prior to that, technically, and I'll just ready up. Beast is hitting him for 2, but it's actually 3. So he's down to 5 health remaining. Beast, your sacrifice will not be forgotten, my friend. Boom. And that's my turn. I was tapped, so I couldn't have recovered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we get that card that does 8 damage with Optical Blast, we're good with 1. So, of course, we did not get it. But we still might be able to do something. Anyway, 1 threat on main scheme. He can't attack us, so he has to scheme. If he would scheme, he takes off 1. Please don't be the card that takes away... oh, also, Exploit Weakness goes away at the end of the turn. Green Goblin. Green Goblin attacks the... oh, sorry. Yes, Green Goblin attacks the hero with the fewest hit points remaining. Oh, wait, no, we're in Alter Ego form. Oh, no, sorry. He would attack if no attack was made against Surge. So he would have killed us if I'd stayed in hero form there. Assault. We're in Alter Ego form. This card gains Surge. Okie dokie. When revealed, choose to either spend 2 resources of any type to give the villain 1, or give the villain 1 face down boost card. I think we're going to kill him. So I'll give you a boost card, buddy. Got to remember that's a boost card, not an encounter card, but that's okay. So yeah, I really want to beat him, so we're going to do precisely that. Let's spend 2 Genius to get Angel onto the field. He costs 1 less because we have the X-Men keyword. On that note, we have the X-Men keyword. I'm flipping up, we're attacking, we're killing him. And... is there anything else I need to do? Not really. I guess I could spend 1 of these 2 Tactical Brilliances in my hand to give Angel +1 to all his basic stats. Sure, why not? So Angel will attack for normally 2, but it's now 3, which puts Normon down to 2 health remaining. And, you know, let's, in classic Cyclops fashion, let's just Optical Blast him for 3 damage, and that takes him to 0. You may have beat Wolverine, but you won't beat the boss. So I think that was a decisive victory over Green Goblin. Hope I didn't do anything wrong, really, that mattered. Cyclops deck, I've heard, is one of the best solo play decks, and I can see why. I've used him online as well, so I knew roughly going in. He is all about getting out a bunch of allies from different aspects, although he is focused on leadership by default. Leadership deck comes with a bunch of cards to upgrade your allies, like the Danger Room training, and what were some of the other ones. Let's see, Teamwork would just team up their basic stats with yours, but you would apply the buffs to yourself, and that avoids them taking consequential damage. Coordinated Attack would be -1 consequential damage to attacking a minion that you could have further debuffed with your tactical upgrades that you give them. So yeah, he is all about leading coordinated strikes on an enemy, and yeah, his base attack is a bit rubbish, which is why I've got to get the visor, so then you can use this without having to spend a resource, and that technically gives you just like 3 free damage per turn, which is really good. So, that is going to do it. That's, I think, Jean won against the other version of Green Goblin. I just remember it being real long because her deck isn't as good for damage as you would think it would be. I don't remember if it was a victory or not. I think it was. So hopefully that's both versions of Green Goblin defeated now. And thank you very much for watching. I sincerely hope you enjoyed, and see you in the future for more Marvel Champions just now and then sprinkled in. Till next time, ta-ta for now.